Good morning, Bulls. It's Friday, January 30th. I'm Morgan Martin, and welcome back to this edition of Bullseye magazine. Have you ever heard of a groundhog predicting the weather? We found out more in today's deep dive.
Have you ever asked a question, gotten an answer, but still wanted to know more? Us too. Welcome to Deep Dive, where we find a question and the answer, and go on a deep dive to learn more. This week's question is, what is the name of the Groundhog's Day groundhog? It's Punxsutawney Phil. Let's dive in. Punxsutawney Phil is the star of the annual Groundhog Day celebration that happens every year on February 2nd. On this day, Phil comes out of his burrow, looks for his shadow, and determines if it will be an early spring or if there will be 6 more weeks of winter. Punxsutawney Phil is also known as the Seer of Seers or the Sage of Sages, due to his weather predictions. Except his predictions are only right 39% of the time. His first prediction was in 1887, making him 138 years old. Well, truthfully, there have been multiple Punxsutawney Phils, about 13. Groundhogs only live to be about 10 years old. According to legend, though, Phil has been around for so long because during their summertime picnic, he drinks a magical groundhog punch that grants him 7 more years of life each sip. Some other famous groundhogs have been Wiarton Willie, who is from Wiarton, Ontario in Canada, Jimmy the Groundhog from Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Oh, and did you know that the tradition started in Germany with badgers? It wasn't until they switched to America that they started using groundhogs. Now, before we sign off, remember, if Phil sees his shadow, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't see his shadow, winter is coming to an end and spring is coming early. Be sure to tune in to PCN's live feed at 6 a.m. on February 2nd to see Phil himself. That's a wrap on another week's Deep Dive. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Kylie.
See you next show.
And speaking of weather, will this cold last through the weekend? Jasmine has your parish forecast.
Hey Bulls, Jasmine here with your weather for today. Today's weather is a high of 72 with a low of 44. Here is an update on the current winter storm, which has been given the name Fern, just north of us. At least 12 people have been confirmed dead during these cold temperatures, and over 1 million people have also lost power due to ice damage on power lines. Over 19,000 flights have been canceled, and major cities have also been let out. More than 2.5 feet of snow has fallen onto these regions and has affected over a dozen states. Now let's take a look into our weekend and early week temperatures for here. Saturday is a high of 60 with a low of 37. Sunday is a high of 49 with a low of 36. Monday is a high of 59 with a low of 38. And Tuesday is a high of 65 with a low of 38. Now, that is all for this time, and I will bring you guys even more updates on the current storm. Now, see you guys all next time. Go Bulls!
We have a new segment where you decide who the winner is. This is the Debatables.
Hello and welcome back to the newest episode of the Debatables, where today we will be talking about how the Lakers are hovering around 500 after famously trading for Luka Doncic. Critics are screaming that Luka is an offensive maestro, but a defensive liability who is killing the Lakers' championship culture. So, is Luka a winning player, or is he just a stat monster who can't lead a team to a ring? Let's start the clock.
Well, I personally believe that Luka is a winning player. You know, we've seen him with the Mavericks take them all the way to the NBA Finals. You know, he is a winning player. He's willing to put points on them, for sure.
Well, Luka Doncic has a 50% playoff winning percentage. Can't really take teams further on. But past that, the Lakers are not going to be a winning team because they have LeBron James. They're paying him over $50 million a year. That's the real killer because LeBron is fading with age.
All right, let's put a pause to that. Let's go to full court press. Guys, who do you think is going to be the MVP this year?
Well, I think obviously, as I've said, it's going to be Luka. He's been averaging like 33 points a game. So, yeah, I think it's Luka.
I also think it's going to be Luka Doncic this year. Just crazy stats. If he keeps this up, he will for sure win the MVP.
All right. Who do you think will be getting traded this year?
I'd have to go with Cat. You know, it's a matter of time.
I'm going to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's also a matter of time. The Bucks, not too hot. They need to get rid of him. They need to get that value.
All right. And final question. Who are you going to build your team around?
I'd say I'd have to build my team around the very own, Hornets, LaMelo Ball. He's a pretty good player.
I would build my team around the Pacers, specifically around Tyrese Halliburton. It's going to be a great team next year. You want to watch that. It's going to be a great year.
All right, so unfortunately, Oliver, I'm going to have to take the ball from you on this one and pass it to John. John, you have the slam dunk on this one. Let us know on our Instagram at PCHS Productions on who you think won today's debate. That's it for today on The Debatables. See you guys next time.
Today for lunch, we have a beef pretzel dogs, wingzings, Cuban subs, garlic toast, and frozen sidekicks. We finish up our fair features today. Take a look.
Bright lights, loud music, and adrenaline everywhere. The Manatee County Fair is back.
The big question is, how much of these can we ride in an hour?
Today, we're putting it to the test.
This is Ride Rush.
We will be going on the swings for our first ride. Woo! We are on the swing. Ah, so hard! For the footage.
Second ride up is Ring of Fire, and we got 50 minutes left on the clock.
The third ride we are going to go on is the Claw. The fourth ride we're going to go on is the Haunted Mansion. We just got off the Haunted Mansion. We have 37 minutes remaining. Okay, this ride doesn't seem too bad. Ah, so hard! The sixth ride we're going on is the Thunderbolt. For my seventh ride, I'm going to be going on the Zipper. The eighth ride I'm going to be going on is the Wacky Worm. Now it's time for a donut break because these rides make you hungry. Okay, we only have 15 minutes left, so we need to fit in as many rides as we can. This is our 9th ride and we're going on their course. We have 7 minutes left and I really do not feel good after that ride. So after that little incident, we have 5 minutes left. Okay guys, we made it here with 1 minute to spare and now we're gonna go on the Ferris wheel. And to conclude this fun fair day, we had a total of 10 rides that we could do in 1 hour. The lines were, they weren't too long, but in all, we had a great day and thank you so much for watching.
The Bulletin has new articles out this week, including a look at our girls and boys wrestling teams. We also see an in-depth look into the success of our girls weightlifting team. Head to the parish website to see the full stories. That wraps it up on this Friday's edition of Bullseye News Magazine. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and like our YouTube page. If you'd like something aired, send us an email at pchstvproductions@gmail.com. We'll see you next week. Have a great Friday, and as always, go Bulls!